My name is Roger Selner. I produce the EASTMANS Hunting Journal World Record Elk Tour. More than 1 million people have the opportunity to see the great elk.
There is nobody that has ever found and documented more American trophy animals than Roger Selner. Him and I go way back, probably 35 years. And I could remember I was in California at the California Mule Deer banquet, and he was there and I was lecturing there. They had this mule deer display, and he had a couple 300-inch mule deer, and it was a pretty good hit. Everybody went by and looked at all these big mule deer people have taken. And he come up to me one morning before the show, and he was telling me how he had this idea he was going to do this elk tour. I saw the vision. I said, "Oh man, this is good." You know, he could sell subscriptions to the EASTMANS Hunting Journal, and I was just starting out. I probably had the magazine for 3 years maybe, and I said, "Man, this is good." So I told him, I says, "Well, I might be interested in that." And he said, "Yeah, but I'll get a hold of you." And so I didn't hear from him for 3 or 4 or 6 months. I don't know, something like that. I get a call from him. He says, "Are you still interested in this? I'm looking for a major sponsor." And I go, "Well, how much is that going to be?" And he said, "About $15,000. Well, back then, $15,000 was a lot of money for a guy that's just struggling with a little 2-bit magazine at that time. And I said, "Okay, can you sell subscriptions?" He said, "Yeah, I'll sell subscriptions, and you get all the money for the subscriptions, and that probably will help you pay for me." Well, it didn't help me pay the full amount, but it really branded me. And
this is one of the great heads that we have on World Record Elk Tour. We've had 40 different heads over the last 5 years.
And there was 1 or 2 years that he went and ventured, 1 year with the Elk Foundation, another year with another hunting magazine. Other than that, all these 30 years he's been going around with the Eastman magazine to all these shows. They call him the Trophy Whisperer because he would find all these heads, and he was a Boone Crockett scorer, and he scored a lot of heads. Thousands of heads that have been sitting in garages or in somebody's house that never was scored, and he found a lot of great trophies, and then he'd put them in the tour and go around. And
the former world record from Hoback Canyon, Wyoming, taken in the early 1900s for meat. It's number 3 in the world, and it's the state record. It nets 217, has a 225 typical frame, and look at the mass. It's just absolutely incredible.
Roger probably put on 1 million miles on that truck of his, pulling that trailer. And of course he'd wear out a truck every 2 years and get a new one. They all were Dodges, except 1 year he got a Ford. He'd go to those shows. I will tell you right now, Roger never missed a show, and this is all in the wintertime, traveling all these western roads that are just terrible. It was always on time. Everything went like clockwork. There was no accidents. He even went back east to Congress. And Roger was a nice guy. Hundreds and thousands of people had come up to him at these shows, built up rapport with people and hunters like you wouldn't believe. Every show, somebody come in and look at one of those big mule deer and go, "My dad got one of those hanging in his house." And bingo. And he would travel all over to score them and pick them up and take them and have them remounted. I can remember one time we did a show here in Powell, Wyoming. This 12-year-old came in with a little 4-point about like this. And he looks up to Roger, and I'm standing there, and he says, "Sir, can you measure my deer?" Roger says, "Oh yeah, I'll measure it." It didn't matter how big the deer or elk or antelope or sheep was, or moose or any North American animal. He would sit down and legitimately score it just like it was a world record and tell him it was a great trophy. That's how he got his heads. It was kind of going around to these shows And people coming in, the guy up in Idaho that killed the 294 or 296, that he had that on tour, and then he had that 300 that was taken down there in Colorado. Those were very impressive, and I was surprised, because these people always get other people wanting to take their heads around and stuff, but he had such a rapport and such a first-class operation, and he never got tired of doing this. He did it up until he just physically couldn't do it anymore in his 70s.
I'm Roger Selner. Come see us at the shows.
He loved to hunt and fish. He went on several hunts with us. I filmed him up in Montana when we were hunting mule deer. He took several mule deer on film and a whitetail for the TV show. He was just a wonderful guy. God blessed me when I bumped into him there down in California. And my two sons who do the magazine now, they grew up with him, and they always call him Uncle Rog. He was really part of the family. He's going to be really missed, not just by my family, but a lot of people.
The legendary deer treasure hunter Roger Selner is now with his ancestors, gone but never forgotten.